Hi, this is Contixo Repair, and today we're going to be replacing a motor on the Contixo F5 drone. So first we're going to start by removing the propellers. There is just one screw holding each propeller in place, and I'm just using the included screwdriver that comes with the drone. And now we have all the propellers off. Next we can do is remove the landing gear. And I'm just going to put that over to the side. Now we can do is remove the camera. So you're going to want to unplug the camera first. Might take a little bit of force, but it comes out pretty easily. And we're just going to put that to the side now. And now we're going to remove the motor covers from the rest of the motors. Next, we are going to remove all these screws from the bottom of the drone. You have to also make sure you remove the screws at the very end of the arms where each motor gearbox is at. We're going to have to unsolder the motor wires. So make sure when you replace your motor, you grab a motor with the same color motor leads. In our case, we'll be replacing the front right motor, and this one has black and white leads. So what you're going to want to do is gently pull the motor out and pull on the leads, and you can figure out where exactly the motor wires go. Go. Right there and right there. You're going to grab your soldering iron, place it on the solder, melt it, and pull. Grab the other motor lead. If you want, you can use tweezers, so you're not so close to the soldering tip and might burn yourself. It's a little bit safer. And pull. So what you're going to want to do is, while you're pulling, you're going to want to place the soldering iron on there, and it should melt the solder, and your motor lead should just come out nice and easy. You'll notice on the board there's a little positive and there's a M2 negative, indicating that this is the second motor. And for this particular motor, the white lead is going to go to the positive terminal, and the black wire is going to go to the M2 negative terminal on the board. And you're going to want to make sure you do that also for the other motor leads. If you're unsoldering that one, say we're unsoldering this one, you'll see that there is a blue wire and a red wire. So on the positive, you're going to want to have the red wire connected and soldered there. And for the blue wire, you're going to want to have that on M1 negative if we were unsoldering this motor over here. Since we're doing this motor over here with the black and white leads, white will go to positive and black will go to negative. So all we're going to do is grab our solder again, clean it up a bit off with a bit of flux. Wipe it off. Will be connected to this M2 negative. And all you're going to want to do is place your motor wire next to the solder blob on the control board and just touch it with the solder. And then as it melts, make sure to keep the wire straight and don't move it. Then you're going to grab your white lead and you're going to place that onto the positive terminal for this motor. And you're going to put that on top of the solder lead over there. Grab your soldering iron, melt the solder, keep your wire straight and don't move it, and pull your soldering iron up, and the wire is connected. Also make sure when you're soldering, you do it in a well-ventilated place. Make sure to have a fan blowing or do it outside, whichever you prefer. So now that we have our motor soldered and in place, we're going to press it in to the motor holder. We have to make sure we tuck in our motor leads, and in that channel there's going to be little slots, and you're just going to want to grab one of the wires, press them down and down again to this one. Make sure all the wires are tucked in neatly. Makes putting the top frame back on easily. So now we're just going to line the frame up. So now we just need to screw the frame back in place. Line everything up and just slide it forward. It should snap into place, and you're just going to want to plug into the connector again. So also when you're replacing a propeller, it's a lot easier to replace the propeller with the motor gearbox cap open, so you can press on the motor shaft to line the holes up. And you're going to want to make sure you have an A prop going on to an A motor part of the frame. A's are over here. And if it doesn't go all the way down, just rotate it 90 degrees and it should line up. And you're just going to screw in . So now we have the motor gearbox caps in, and now the last thing we're going to be doing is putting the landing gear in. Reinsert our battery, plug in the motor or the battery leads first, power the drone on, and now the F5 is ready to be flown again and paired with the transmitter, and that is how you replace a motor on the Contixo F5 drone.